In this transformative video, we delve into spiritual awakening guided by the ascended master Saint Germain. You will discover how to activate your inner power and your I Am presence using the sacred code 888 together with the energy of the violet flame. The high vibration you will reach with these teachings will help you transmute negative energies into positive ones and attract abundance into your life. Angel number 888 symbolizes abundance, success, and prosperity, representing an infinite flow of divine energy and opportunities. In this video, you will learn to tune into that elevated frequency through powerful I Am decrees and the mystical guidance of Saint Germain. In doing so, you will raise your consciousness and manifest your desires from your inner power. This video is part of a spiritual transformation series. We recommend watching the previous chapters to understand the full context and enhance your awakening process. Get ready for an inspiring experience that will ignite your inner light, connect you with your higher purpose, and propel you toward a life of prosperity, love, and high vibration. The universe is full of signs that seem hidden, waiting for the precise moment to reveal their meaning. Today we begin a deep journey into one of the greatest secrets in history: the connection between the mysterious code 888, the violet flame, and the power latent in every human being. This path is not for those who seek superficial answers, nor for those who fear unveiling the veils that cloak what is called reality. This is a path for the brave, for those who yearn to discover their own greatness and transform every aspect of their life. Imagine for a moment that all the barriers you have felt, all the doubts that have limited you, and all the voices telling you something is impossible begin to dissolve before a force of pure energy. Feel that vibration expanding around you, inviting you to rediscover who you truly are. That invitation is code 888, a key that not only resides in numerology but in the very fabric of the universe. Code 888 is not merely another number among the many mathematical combinations of reality. It is a bridge between the visible and the invisible. It represents the infinite creative capacity that dwells in each of us, waiting for the moment we are ready to embrace it. Speaking of 888 is like diving into a cosmic ocean where the laws of space and time yield to the power of consciousness. To understand the magnitude of this mystery, it is first necessary to clear the mind of prejudice. There is an ancestral knowledge that has traversed eras and civilizations, guarding a simple yet resounding message. Human beings possess within themselves a divine spark capable of manifesting any reality they desire. Those who have accessed this knowledge call it awakening. Awakening does not mean abandoning the everyday world, but rather seeing it with new eyes. It means recognizing that every thought, every word, and every emotion has the potential to shape our environment. Code 888 acts as a tool to amplify that creative power. Therefore, many describe it as an activation key that, when combined with the right intention, transforms life in ways that defy conventional logic. From ancient times, privileged minds have sensed that numbers represent more than mere quantitative values. In numerous cultures, their vibrations and influence on reality were studied. Certain combinations were considered wisdom gateways, bridges to higher realms. The number 888 emerged as one of the most powerful and, at the same time, one of the most concealed. Some sages have described 888 as the synthesis of infinity, the energy that unfolds boundlessly everywhere. If you visualize the number 8, you will notice its circular shape which, when tilted, represents the infinity symbol. When that figure is repeated 3 times, it is conceived as the perfect integration of body, mind, and spirit. It is the resonance between who we were, who we are, and who we will be. But merely knowing the symbolic meaning is not enough. The true power of 888 is activated when you integrate it into your life on a practical level. This integration becomes even stronger when you add the violet flame, a subtle fire that purifies and transmutes everything without causing harm. Picture it as the merging of an energetic current which, with the 888 frequency, cleanses old programming and blockages that have prevented you from progressing. The violet flame is mentioned in multiple esoteric studies as a universal principle of transmutation. It is not a material fire, but rather a high-frequency vibration operating on the plane of consciousness. When invoked or visualized, it penetrates the memories we carry, often from past lives or familial lineages, and frees them from their negative charge. This liberation is essential for 888 to fulfill its function. Think of 888 as an expansive force that multiplies what it encounters. If that energy meets fear, resentment, or limiting patterns, it risks intensifying them instead of dissolving them. On the other hand, if you have first purified your interior with the violet flame, then the 888 frequency can manifest harmony, abundance, and spiritual awakening. The conjunction of code 888 and the violet flame leads us to a third key element, the affirmation, I am. These two words have been guarded since ancient times by those who understood their immense power. It is not simply an expression of identity, but a decree capable of reconfiguring reality. When you say, I am, with full awareness, you are directing universal energy toward a specific end. It is like pressing a button that commands your mind, your emotions, and the cosmos's creative forces to construct what you declare. For this reason, various spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of using these words with wisdom and responsibility. Combining I am with 888 and the violet flame is essentially a master formula for internal and external transformation. Imagine that each time you say, I am abundance, the 888 frequency is activated to materialize that abundance, while the violet flame removes any energetic obstacle that might sabotage that manifestation. Thus, the word, the number, and the sacred fire work together. However, this process is not automatic. It requires consistency, clarity of intention, and above all, absolute trust in the creative power that dwells within you. Many people are trapped in an internal narrative that limits them. They repeat disheartening phrases and, without realizing it, condemn themselves to live in a state of lack. Here lies the danger of using I am unconsciously. It decrees realities we do not want. For those who consciously prepare themselves, the path of activation with 888 and the violet flame can mark a before and after. How to begin? With small daily steps and rituals that consolidate your new vibration. A simple way is to wake up each morning, close your eyes, and visualize the number 888 shining above your heart. In that moment, invoke the violet flame mentally or out loud, sensing how a soft purple glow expands around you. Feel how this energy sweeps away doubts, fears, and any trace of accumulated negativity. Then recite an I am decree, something like I am light, I am perfect health, or I am the prosperity that expands in my life. Constant repetition of these decrees, accompanied by the visualization of 888 and the violet flame, begins to reprogram neural networks and the memories of your subconscious. That is where most of your personal reality resides. Without a profound shift in those mental structures, any conscious effort tends to fade quickly. That is why perseverance is so often stressed. In the beginning, your analytical mind might say, "This is fantasy," or "It won't work." However, if you stick with it, those thoughts subside, allowing you to experience a higher level of consciousness and thus new possibilities. One day, you will find yourself acting with more certainty, attracting favorable situations, and leaving behind patterns that once kept you stuck. Stories from those who have applied this knowledge for years tell of genuine miracles. People who, after long periods of financial struggle, begin to find opportunities for financial expansion. Others who, after carrying physical or emotional ailments, feel relief and healing. There are also those who discover abilities they once believed impossible, as though a veil had lifted from their mind. This synchronicity between thought, emotion, and vibration is not something supernatural. In reality, it is the true nature of our existence. Contemporary society teaches us to distrust these processes, labeling them as fantasy. Yet ancient civilizations revered them, knowing that they contain the secret to living in harmony with the original source of all life. At the core of these teachings is the idea that everything is energy. Every atom vibrates in an infinite field of possibilities. Your thoughts, your words, and your emotions are no less powerful than the sunlight or the heat of a flame. Understanding this leads to a broader worldview, where the internal and external are in constant dialogue. Activating code 888 means tuning into a frequency of conscious creation. It is like changing the radio station you have been listening to. You move from a station full of static and negative messages to another where the music is clear, uplifting, and aligned with your deepest aspirations. If you stay on that station long enough, your life begins to reflect that harmony. The violet flame, for its part, becomes your great ally in this adventure. We could say it is responsible for clearing the field before planting. If you have unresolved emotional wounds, resentments, or lingering guilt, the manifestation of your desires might be obstructed. That is why a constant purification practice is recommended. Invoking that violet light, feeling its transformative warmth, allowing it to penetrate forgotten corners, by dissolving those internal densities, you make room for the 888 energy to flow freely. Then, when you decree, "I am infinite love," the resonance expands without encountering unconscious blocks that contradict your statement. And each time you repeat it, you feel more enveloped in a wave of well-being and certainty. An important aspect is developing the capacity for observation during this process. Observe your thoughts without judging them, like a silent witness. If you notice thoughts of doubt or negativity, simply acknowledge their presence and replace them with new decrees. Say something like, "I transmute this thought with a violet flame," and then affirm, "I am confidence in action," while visualizing 888 radiating light. Over time, this mental replacement exercise becomes a habit that revolutionizes how you feel and perceive existence. True power is not about never having a bad thought, but about knowing how to manage it, transform it, and direct the energy toward what you truly want to build. On a collective level, the shared practice of Code 888 and the violet flame could have astonishing implications. Imagine a group of people all aligned to the same frequency, positively decreeing and visualizing the transmutation of all the problems that afflict humanity. Great transformations, after all, begin within each individual and expand outward into the community. This power of transformation is not limited to a single realm. It encompasses health, relationships, prosperity, personal and spiritual fulfillment. In the eyes of those who do not know this force, achievements might seem fortuitous or due to luck. But you, who are delving into these pages, will recognize that it is not a matter of chance, but the result of active and creative consciousness. Throughout history, many seekers of truth have left clues about the power of words and energy. Sacred writings, oral traditions, esoteric teachings. In all of them, the same warning is repeated: what you decree with your word, what you feel in your heart, will manifest in time. The emphasis is on coherence, on alignment between what you think, feel, and do. With Code 888, that coherence is amplified. You do not merely decree with your word. You also anchor a number that represents infinity multiplied by itself. Visualizing it in your mind or drawing it on paper while declaring, I am, causes your energy to aim toward manifestation. Meanwhile, the violet flame ensures that all leftover burdens vanish. Dedicating yourself to this path does not mean isolating yourself from the world. On the contrary, it is about living in it with a renewed perspective. You will still face challenges, but you will no longer perceive them as insurmountable walls, rather as opportunities to demonstrate your power of transmutation. Each time life presents an obstacle, you will recognize it as a sign to intensify your practice and remember your ability to consciously direct energy. Moreover, you will discover that your interpersonal relationships begin to shift. People who once seemed not to understand you might approach you with curiosity, or they might drift away, unable to tune into your new frequency. In any event, you will be more at peace because your inner security will no longer depend on external approval, but on your conviction in your own creative power. For those seeking concrete ways to integrate these concepts, practices such as guided meditation, writing decrees, and contemplation are recommended. In meditation, simply close your eyes, relax your body, and focus attention on the brow area or at the center of your chest. Visualize 888 in a golden hue while a gentle violet fire ascends and descends your spine. Combining these elements in inner silence creates an unparalleled synergy. You might feel a subtle tingling, a soft warmth, or occasionally a chill running through your body. These are signs that energies are moving and that your mind, body, and spirit are responding to the new frequency you are adopting. When writing decrees, set aside a few minutes each day to record what you wish to manifest. Write sentences in the present tense and use the I am formula. I am the joy expanding in my life. I am the divine intelligence that resolves any problem. I am the constant flow of financial fulfillment. You can add 888 alongside these statements to reinforce their potency. Each phrase must be felt and visualized within you as a reality, not a distant dream. As you do so, picture the violet flame wrapping around those words, purifying them of any trace of doubt. Thus, your writing ceases to be a mere intellectual exercise and becomes an act of co-creation with the universe. Contemplation is another deeper step. Sit in silence, whether in nature or a quiet space at home, and simply observe your thoughts without clinging to them. In that stillness, you can mentally repeat 888 and sense the resonance it produces within you. Let ideas flow and dissipate into the violet flame, experiencing the lightness of a mind in a pure, renewed state. With practice, you will learn that silence is as necessary as action. Silence enables you to hear the inner voice that knows your purpose and how to manifest it. Meanwhile, inspired actions push you to give material form to the new visions arising from that sacred space. At this point, many ask, how long until I see results? The answer is as personal as each human story. Some notice almost immediate changes because they have already done significant inner work, while others need more time to shed old patterns. What matters is not to despair or rush the process. Genuine transformation is steady and sure when nurtured day by day. What is clear is that if you persist, results will come. Not because it is some magical promise, but because you are learning to consciously use universal laws that operate at all times, whether you realize it or not. Each time you apply the violet flame, decree, I am, and activate 888, the structure of your experiences aligns with the vibration you emanate. Gratitude is an essential component on this path. Give thanks in advance for what you wish to see manifested, as though it were already a fact. Write your gratitude in a journal, say it aloud, or feel it in your heart. By expressing gratitude in the present, you connect your consciousness with the reality you long for, speeding its arrival. It is also wise to be gentle with yourself. There may be days when it is harder to concentrate or you feel like you are backsliding. Avoid self-punishment. Harsh self-judgment only reinforces negative patterns. Instead, acknowledge the misstep and return to practice. Every step you take strengthens your bond with the power of transmutation and manifestation. To delve even deeper, you can explore conscious breathing methods while working with 888 and the violet flame. For example, inhale slowly to a count of 4, and as you exhale, visualize the violet flame encircling the number 888 pulsing within you. With each breath, you are filled with renewing energy, and with each exhalation, you release old patterns that dissolve like smoke. Such exercises reinforce the connection between body and mind, making the integration process more complete. You will notice a sense of calm and focus in your daily life that enables you to make decisions with greater clarity, free from the automatic reactions that once dominated your behavior. Some also recommend using music or harmonic sounds as a backdrop while meditating or performing your rituals. There are specific compositions crafted with frequencies that complement the work of the violet flame and 888, fostering deep relaxation and activating brain waves that facilitate receptivity to decrees. However, the most important thing is intention. Neither the best music, nor the finest incense, nor the perfect setting will achieve anything if your heart and mind remain closed to change. True alchemy occurs when you decide to open yourself to the experience, with no reservations or fears, ready to discover the majesty that lies within you. As you progress on this path, you may notice an increase in so-called symbols of synchronicity. You might be surprised to see the 888 figure in unexpected places, or encounter the image of the violet flame in dreams or daily events. These are not mere accidents, but confirmations that reality is responding to your new frequency. Each synchronicity reminds you that you are aligned with your highest potential. It encourages you to persist, to trust, and to be guided by the certainty that, in the universe, nothing is random. Watch carefully, and when something strikes you as meaningful, incorporate it into your practice. Meditate on it, write about it, and ask yourself how it can help you expand your understanding. We now come to the end of this long exploration, but in truth, this is only the beginning of your journey. Code 888, the violet flame, and the decree, I am, become your allies in transcending limitations and awakening the divine power that has always accompanied you. The real secret is to understand that the magic does not dwell outside of you or in others' hands, but in your own decision to transform, love, and create. From now on, each step you take can be conscious, each thought a seed of light, each word a bridge toward the life you dream of. The universe awaits your determination. If you heard this call, if it resonated deep in your heart, dare to take the next step. Begin your own practice, experience the power of 888 and the violet flame, and decree firmly, I am. Within that simple affirmation lies the seed of all miracles and the key to manifesting a luminous destiny. Subscribe and watch the previous videos.